Did you know that how you set up the tractor hydraulics can make a big difference in tractor efficiency?
This video will explain how to use available resources to calculate and adjust SCV flow rates to supply only the required flow to each function. We will also show you how to use eco-on and eco-off engine speeds in custom mode to satisfy all hydraulic demands while maintaining the lowest possible engine speed. The very first thing you should do after setting up and hooking up your implement is to determine the amount of hydraulic oil flow required for each SCV function. You can find this information in several sources, such as the Tractor or Implement Operator's Manual, online, or through your local dealership. However, for the sake of time, we have figured out our numbers for this example.
This is the table in section 60 in the operator's manual of all 7, 8, and 9 family tractors. You can see here that there are settings from 1 to 10 for each SCV. This column shows the flow at each setting. So if we determine we need 10 gallons per minute out of an SCV, we would set that SCV to 6.0. Go into the SCV page in the command center and set all SCVs being used for your operation. Now that the flow is set for each SCV, find the total hydraulic flow required during planting and during headland turns. This will determine the minimum engine speed needed to supply enough flow from the hydraulic pump. In section 60 of the operator's manual, find the hydraulic pump flow at various engine speeds. You can see that we have added up the flow demands for planting and for headland turns. By adding the total flow for each SCV, we now have the total flow needed from the hydraulic pump. After adjusting the SCV flow, it's determined that in order to get all that flow from the pump, our engine speed needs to be around 1700 RPM. Now we can adjust our minimum engine speed in the transmission page of the command center. Because we know our engine RPMs can't drop below around 1700 RPM for planting and 1900 RPM for headland turns, we can set our 2 minimum engine speed settings in custom mode to ensure the best performance of the tractor and implement. To adjust the minimum engine speed with eco-on, first make sure eco mode is activated. Then select the eco-on module and use the plus or minus buttons to set the speed. Then close out of the screen. Now shut the eco mode off and do the same process to set the minimum engine speed with eco-off. Next, let's take a look at our custom settings, which includes droop and load anticipation. Droop settings in this scenario are not important because planting and seeding applications are not typically high draft applications, where the tractor will be at full load and have to downshift to maintain engine speed. We will need to turn load anticipation off for all functions. We will be running at least one SCV in continuous detemp.
Now that our initial transmission and SCV setup is complete, we're ready to go to the field to fine-tune our settings if necessary. So, by adjusting SCV flows, eco-on and eco-off engine speeds, you can satisfy all hydraulic needs and achieve maximum efficiency.